And with us right now, we've got Chase Dimond. Chase, you're a partner with Boundless Labs on the web at boundlesslabs.io. You're also an angel investor. But in this episode, this conversation, we're going to talk about email marketing. And listen, I think you're one of the smarter guys in the room because you've held on to email when everyone was going gaga over social media. Social media has definitely been, it's had its ups and downs, and it's not to say it doesn't have its place, but email has still been a consistent performer through the years. First off, welcome.
Josh, thank you. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Well, you obviously got my editorial slant. I'm a fan. So share with me what Boundless Labs does.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. So at Boundless Labs, we focus specifically on email marketing for e-commerce. So we work with about 35 to 40 clients, and we've done about $35 million in email revenue. So when I say we focus on email, a couple of the things that we do is we send campaigns for our clients. We send kind of automated emails, things like the abandoned carts. We focus on deliverability, list segmentation. So there's a lot of really cool things that I could share that we're doing really, really well for our clients, both in a COVID world as well as kind of life outside of COVID.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of start by talking about how the world has changed in regards to email communication over the past few months.
Bless you.
I thought I muted my microphone. So you saw me sneeze, but the listening audience had no idea that I just sneezed.
Now they know.
You saw that sneeze coming too. I was trying to get that question out. I'm like, oh man, let me finish this question before the sneeze comes.
Yeah.
So now that my sneeze is gone, talk to me about how has email evolved? Has email changed over the past number of months?
So yes and no. So about 2 to 3 months ago, I'd say the tone and the voice and all of that has really changed, right? The cadence on how we send, how we communicate. So a couple of months back, right, February, March, whenever kind of COVID first happened, we were kind of very transparent with customers and subscribers about like, hey, we really don't know what this means. We are going to be taking the necessary precautions for our supply chain, for our employees. We are going to be doing X, Y, and Z to really help make sure our team is safe, and therefore we can kind of keep getting you products in a safe manner, and that when you receive them, they're safe. So a lot of that kind of conversation happened early on. Some clients still do have like a banner at the top of their email or a banner kind of in their footer that just says like, hey, here are the measures that we're taking for COVID, just because some people might have joined recently, other people still might be concerned. So aside from that initial stuff, I would really say like more so lately over the past few weeks, it's been business as usual. We're communicating much like we would anyways, right? We're sending holiday offers. So yesterday was Memorial Day. When people listen to this, yesterday won't have been Memorial Day, but we still pushed that just like we would have anyways. And we kind of did some cool stuff for Memorial Day that I wanted to explain that I think people might benefit from. Yeah. This could be used for Father's Day that's coming up. It could be used for any holiday. And what we do is we use holiday as an anchor. And what I mean by this is, so for example, Father's Day is a great day where you actually have to have an item in hand for your dad, right? Or for your husband or whoever. So we typically will send 3 or 4 emails leading up to Father's Day. So that way people have ample time to receive their product. So because supply chains are still more or less kind of up in the air, we'll probably start sending emails for Father's Day at some point next week, right? So Father's Day, is in about a month, but we'll probably start sending it next week, just saying Father's Day starts early. Make sure you get your products. Enjoy 10% off or whatever the offer is going to be. So that will be our first email. The second email we'll send will come maybe a couple days after that, letting people know when the last time that they need to make a purchase by for guaranteed Father's Day delivery, right? So Josh, if I wanted to get something for you, right, at my store, it might be like a 2-week cutoff. So 2 weeks before Father's Day is the last day that I could order something for you to make sure that you get it delivered to you, or I can have it in my hand to hand it to you in person, right? And then the last email prior to the actual Father's Day email that we're going to send is like a gift card email if relevant, right? So, hey, if you're anything like us, 24 to 48 hours in advance, you probably waited to the last minute. You probably were slacking on this. Here's something you can give to your dad that he's going to love. Give them the gift of, insert the business name, right? And then we'll go to an actual Father's Day campaign that says, to all the fathers, to all the dads on our list, we hope you have a great Father's Day. If you wanted to get something for yourself, or if you still haven't got something for, dad or your husband, Here's one more chance to do it, right? So those are kind of how we think about holidays, especially where items in hand are important. Christmas is another great one, right? So hopefully that's helpful. I think most people we see wait until actual Father's Day to send an email. And if you think about it, most people's wallet share has already been spent. So we found by having emails come in advance of it, we're actually top of mind, and the wallet share is going to us because we're hitting people before they're even thinking about it.
Yeah. Is there, and by the way, I should say while we're on the subject of Father's Day, you get to celebrate Father's Day this year in a special way. Congratulations. Having looked at your Instagram, congratulations on your new baby.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate that. So yeah, we had a girl about 5-6 weeks ago, and it's been really interesting having a kid during this time and having a kid as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
I have this constant kind of tug and pull of like, I really need to dedicate to my team. I've got a team of 10 people. We're actively hiring, right? I've got so much to do, but I feel like every day that I don't spend time with this baby, she looks different, right? So it's kind of, you have kids, Josh?
I've got 3. They're not so much kids anymore. One is an adult now, which is crazy. That happens. So yes, 5 weeks old now. You'll blink and she'll be 21.
Crazy.
Sorry,
So
don't mean to. So enjoy every moment, please.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in terms of, obviously there's, I think there's some sensitivities that we've needed. And I wonder too, if you look, Chase, at over, consumer behavior, say over the past 5 years, from your perspective, is there any other changes in tone or things that audiences like or don't like an email that maybe they tolerated in the past, or just has anything changed in that regard?
So there's 2 answers I want to give. One will be to that, and the other will be to, if you're on the email marketing side, the biggest change that I've seen that people haven't been prepared for. So starting with that one, I think the biggest change from when I first started in email 5-6 years ago till now is back in the day, Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, they used to reward people that were sending bulk emails, right? So the more emails you sent, the better your reputation was and whatnot, right? That was the old ways. Today, this script has completely changed where now they reward you strictly on engagement, right? And quality. You have to be consistent with who you're sending to. You have to send to people that want to receive your emails. And I think that shift has been the hardest thing and has led to a lot of deliverability issues. I know I just said a lot. I'm going to unpack this. So deliverability basically is your inbox rating, your inbox score, right? How many of your emails are actually getting delivered to the inbox? And in the inbox, right, it's comprised of the primary folder, comprised of the promotions, the social, and then the dreaded spam, right? So if you're still following the same practices that worked 5 years ago, your open rates probably have tanked over the years, right? Yeah. You're probably most likely in spam. You're probably in promotions at best, right? So today we're focused on only sending to people that are engaged. For some people, that's a 30-day window. So someone's opened or clicked your emails in the last 30 days. For other people, that could be, a 150 or 180-day engaged. And my rule of thumb for kind of how you figure this out is if you're sending extremely often, so if you're sending every day or almost every day, you should be leveraging a 30-day or a 45-day engaged. The reason for that is over the course of a month, you've given people, 30 chances to open. If they haven't opened, the likelihood of them opening the following month is going to be pretty slim. However, if you're sending maybe 1 or 2 times a week or even 1 or 2 times a month, you could then get away with 150-day engaged, 180-day engaged, because you've given people less chances to open. For whatever reason, you said 2 emails this month, people didn't open. If they were like me, I was on paternity leave, I wasn't checking emails, but now this month I'm back online, right? So that's kind of how you have to get a sense. And my benchmark for campaigns is 20% open rate or higher. So if you're well below 20%, you should trim your list to try to get to that open rate. Josh, I know I said a lot. Any other points of that piece that you want me to unpack?
Yeah. So it sounds like, again, you would want to set up your rules you want to keep sending to your frequent openers for sure. But if they're not, if they're just not opening, then I've sent a few emails, you haven't opened them. Guess what? You're on 50% now. You're only getting half of the emails that we send out. So stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. So what
That's
we'll
cool.
basically do is we'll set up we call it a breakup series, right? So if someone's been on your list and say they've received 20 or 30 emails over the past few months and they haven't opened those, we'll make kind of one last ditch attempt or effort to say like, hey, Josh, I hate to say this, but we're going to have to break up. maybe you had different expectations from when you first signed up of what we're going to be sending. Maybe you just got busy, whatever the reason is. Like if you don't want to go and you want to stay in contact, make sure you open this email. Obviously they have to be reading this if they've opened it, and click here if you want to stay involved. If you don't do anything, we're just going to stop sending to you. No harm, no foul, right? So we have this automation set up that will automatically hit that to people at the point where we feel they're unengaged without being dead. And if those people don't engage, we'll have an automatic property added to their profile that says unengaged equals true. And then every month, every other month, every quarter, we'll then just go in and suppress those profiles. So that way you're not paying for them, right? The bummer is a lot of clients that we go into, that we audit, that we work with, they might have 100,000 people on their list, which sounds great, but only half those people typically are active or engaged. So they're actually paying their email provider hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month extra for people that are adding no value.
Yeah. And I would imagine, I mean, you could set up rules in most of your modern email providers to be able to control for that. It's, again, it's just a little bit of extra admin, but, if it means that you can, again, I'm going to unsubscribe to emails that I see all the time and I never open them up. If you only send one to me once a month and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I get it. That's pretty clever. I like that. All right, give me some more, Chase. Give me some more.
Yes, so that's from the business perspective, right? Send to people that want to receive from you. From the consumer perspective of actually the content that people are receiving, what's changed, I would say it's kind of interesting, right? Like I think we're moving to a world, and there's kind of two sides to this, where A, personalization obviously has and will be important for a long time. B, you kind of have these two camps of people that say you have to send plain text or you have to send beautifully designed emails, right?
Right.
So I think that's been a really heavy debate over the years where, like, I'm truthfully in the middle, right? I think you have to have a hybrid. And every person I talk to that I respect, that I like, all the brands, they're like so in two fields, like, no, you have to do everything this way. You have to do everything that way. So for us, a lot of the reasons people work with us is because we do create beautifully designed emails. However, we also do know the time and the place when to send a plain text email. Plain text is great because it feels personal, right?
Yes.
You probably inbox higher because you've got less images. It will load quicker. So the way that I think about it, as I'd say about 70% of the time, we're sending kind of nicely designed emails just because the brands that we work with, it's their nature to have very polished emails. And then 25% of the time, we're sending plain text emails. So a use case of plain text emails for e-commerce, at least, is when someone makes a purchase. And this could be done for SaaS. This could be done for anything. So Josh, you made a purchase from the Chase Dimond store. Don't go look that up. The store doesn't exist. That's made up. But I'm going to send you one day after you purchase saying, Josh, thank you so much for your purchase. It means the world to me. I started chasedimond.com, 4 years ago with the goal of X, Y, and Z, right? And then at the end, I'll have a signature that says Chase. That's a really great use case of a plain text email because it feels personable. Does that make sense, Josh?
Yeah, I like that. One thing that if you're a personal brand and maybe it's kind of your coaching expertise, and so it's really important for you to form a personal relationship. I mean, that was just an example there. Any other tips on how you can cultivate your relationship over email?
Yeah, so I think it all starts from the very first email you send, right? So for most businesses, that's a welcome series, typically for non-buyers, right? If someone bought right away, that will be a post-purchase flow. So in your welcome series, right, this is when someone's brand new to your website. Maybe they saw a pop-up, right, that they entered their email into. Maybe they got like a flyout on your website when they're exiting. Maybe you had like an embedded subscription kind of in one of your blog posts or at the bottom of your website. However people got onto your list, I think it's really important in your welcome series, which is going to be the first 3, 4, maybe 5 emails over the course of a week to 2 weeks, to really kind of build that bond and build that relationship through kind of content that builds trust. So what I mean by that, right, is Josh, you sign up today for my list. I'm going to greet you saying, Josh, welcome to the Chase Dimond newsletter, whatever it is. We're so happy to have you here. And if you promise some kind of discount or incentive in the form, make sure you deliver on that, right? So Josh, here's the 10% off, here's the free shipping, here's the free content that you opted in to receive, and then also set the tone of the relationship. So, over the coming weeks, I'm going to be sending you a few more messages. So that way you could really learn about the Chase Dimond, whatever. And you can feel comfortable to ask any question anytime, just hit reply, right? So I think in the first couple messages that go out, you have to include all the stats. You kind of almost have to like brag without putting in people's face, right? So Josh, for you, if this was your business, you could talk about all the podcasts that you've been on, all the press outlets that you've been featured in, right? It really shows that you are trustworthy, that you're an expert, and all the social proof. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but this welcome series is a great way to build trust through customer testimonials, social proof, and just educate people on like who you are, why you matter, and how you're different. Like it's the whole what's in it for me, right? Think about that. The customers are asking, what's in it for me? So you have to use these content to answer that question.
Chase, how did you get into this?
Yeah, so my story actually goes back to when I was 13, 14 years old. At the age of 13, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So for anyone that doesn't know what Crohn's disease is, it's inflammation of your digestive tract. And it's looped into this thing called IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease. Yeah. So at 13 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I was sick for a year. And the whole reason I was sick for so long is because there was so much lack of awareness. No one knew what it was. Doctors kept mistreating me, misdiagnosing me. Family and friends didn't know what it was. So after being sick for about a year and just being absolutely miserable, at 14 years old, I taught myself guerrilla marketing. So I was sending emails to family and friends. I was putting up flyers, right? I was doing all these events. I was cold calling, people, I was doing all these things for a couple years and had a lot of success. We raised tens of thousands of dollars. We impacted thousands of people. And email and kind of organic social and non-paid acquisition really was the thing that I held on to. And all throughout college and postgraduate, email really was at the core of everything I did. I even built a business around email where we sent weekly inspiration around travel, right? So email was really at the core of what I did. And about 3 years ago, one of my friends said to me, "Hey Chase, I think the stuff that you've done would really be well suited for e-commerce." And he sent me a course. So I took a course, took all the skills I had, got like 2 or 3 clients, charged almost no money, charged like a couple $100. And I just built really great case studies and I built a lot of trust. So that's really how I got into it. It kind of came from this need of me trying to want to get the word out about this disease. So that way other people won't have to go through what I suffered through. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
And today you have some pretty big clients. Do you mind sharing what you've been able to build to and who you're able to work with today?
Yeah, so today we work with about 35 to 40 brands. We work with one of the brands, actually, Josh, that was on your show, and that's how we got connected. So the guys over at CrossNet have a 4-way kind of volleyball set, really cool brand, scaling quickly, great guys. We work with the brand called The Chive, which has been around for a long time. They're the men's millennial kind of media type site. They have a very successful e-commerce business called The Chivery, which we've worked on. And then in the past, we've even worked with companies called like Clover Healthcare, which is valued at over $1 billion. We have a public company out of Canada called Namaste Technologies. They're in the cannabis and CBD space. We worked with a really large kind of swimwear conglomerate called Manhattan Beachwear. So we've worked with a lot of really big clients, but our specialty really is working with brands that do between about $1 to $20 million in annual revenue. We feel like we can move quickly. They're agile. We're able to access the decision maker, and they're open to try things, right? They're open to kind of get aggressive and try things. Like we have whether I'm in the shower, on a walk, in my dreams, I have crazy ideas of things I want to try. And these are the guys that actually buy into the ideas. So I love them for it.
Yeah. All right. Chase Dimond, again, you're a partner with Boundless Labs on the web at boundlesslabs.io. Is there any place in particular, anything that you'd recommend that people engage with you and like, oh yeah, first step is, I'm hoping you say sign up for your email list. Or opt into something.
Yeah, so Twitter and my email list are the places that I'm sharing kind of daily, if not weekly content. So my Twitter is ecom, E-C-O-M, and then Chase Dimond, no A in Diamond. And then in my Twitter bio, you can find my newsletter. So I send a once a week kind of guide or with tips and tricks on how you can leverage email marketing for your business.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Chase, thank you so much for joining us.
Josh, I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.